Good day, everyone. My name is Ina, and I'm the project manager and CS regional expert here at Eleos Compliance. Today, I would like to talk to you about Eurasian Customs Union background, current affairs, and EAC schemes. To start with, let's look at the background and current situation. EAC was founded in 2015 and currently consists of 5 independent countries displayed here. Currently, Eleos Compliance is adhering to international sanctions and does not work with entities located or registered in Republic of Belarus and Russian Federation. All our in-country solutions in other member states are vetted and adhere to international anti-bribery and anti-corruption acts. The Eurasian Commission is constantly working on logistical, administrative, and regulatory integration of all member states. However, due to the differences in the national accreditation authority requirements, the sanctions in place, full integration proves to be tricky, and each member state has its own procedural requirements and differences. Moreover, due to the current political climate, situation is quite volatile, and local authorities and certification bodies can make procedural changes at a very short notice. Now, let us look at the schemes. Most electronic devices will be subject to the following three regulations in EAC, unless specified as being exempt in the tables displayed. Eurasian Economic Union Technical Regulation 020 from 2011 on electromagnetic compatibility of technical devices, Eurasian Economic Technical Regulation 004 from 2011 on safety on low voltage equipment. Then we have Eurasian Economic Union Technical Regulation 037 from 2016 on restriction of the use of certain hazardous substances in electrical and electronic equipment. Electronic devices not mentioned in the exemption list above are likely to be subject to at least one of the above regulations. When it comes to applying for EAC approval, there are two different schemes that can be followed: certification and declaration, with the choices of schemes to follow being dependent on the product type. Certification scheme is more complex and entails longer lead time as it necessitates physical factory inspection, sample selection, and testing in EAC accredited laboratory. Certification body document review is also essential, final certification registration. Approval via certification can usually be obtained within about 8 weeks. This, of course, depends on the physical factory inspection arrangements. Certificates are normally valid for about 5 years. However, annual inspection is in the form of factory inspection or sample testing is required to keep the certificate validity. Declaration scheme is more straightforward. These applications can be processed via paperwork scheme using the manufacturer's test reports or the sample testing in the EAC accredited testing laboratory. Approval via declaration can usually be obtained within about 4 weeks. Declarations are valid for 5 years and do not require any annual inspections. Both schemes require a local holder, which Eleos can supply. Now, let's just look at the Security Services Notification, another important EAC schemes, which applies for most wireless products using encryption. When this application process must be handled by the local company. However, Eleos compliance team are able to provide a local holder services and can guide the path to obtaining the correct paperwork and the final approval. This is a compulsory requirement, and the approval can usually be obtained within about 3 weeks. The final requirements for EAC I will note today is on energy efficiency of energy-consuming devices. However, the implementation of this requirement has recently been postponed until the 1st of September 2028. Once enforced, the products subject to the requirements will include household and office electric equipment with waiting modes, lamps, TV sets, air conditioning units, and white goods. You can stay posted on developments with this by subscribing to the Eleos monthly newsletter and following us on LinkedIn. So this is only a short summary of the requirements for EAC market, and there is quite a few aspects manufacturers need to consider when determining how to proceed. For this reason, working with an expert partner such as Eleos Compliance is highly recommended. As the final note, please be aware that beyond the harmonized EAC schemes we have discussed today, Many member states have their own national RF requirements, which you can find detailed on the Eleos website. Thank you for watching.